Clouds rolling in, but still the sun is out. And the wind is just a howling gale down to the left-hand side. And as we saw in that first quarter, a lot of out of bounds on the full. So it'll be interesting with Colonelite Gardens. Let's wait and see what they do in this second quarter, where they come out this side and then try and come in, where they attack from that far side.
Mate, bit of the old-fashioned footy, goes straight down the middle. Yep. There's no point messing around. There's no point chip kicking away to find someone in a better target. If you can have a shot from 40 metres, take the shot, because the fact is, if you try to chip the thing away, the thing's going to, you aren't going to find a target. You aren't going to find a target today.
And I tell you what, I do like the attack on the ball by the Colonelite players. There's no one taking back steps or just slowing down. I reckon they've got the players. It's going to be probably more a small man's day than a big man's day.
Oh, yeah.
But
tough to judge marks in this swirling breeze, isn't it?
Yeah, but as I said, that Josh Bennett, you know, if they got him leading out of the middle, Ryan Richter, I've quite liked him down in the back line. As I said, our fullback Emmett Woods probably had the most possessions on the ground, but some of them don't count because he's had the kicking duties.
I think Alex Hughes might have had probably the better end of that. He's had a lot.
Oh, Alex, yes.
But Smoshies in that first quarter, kicking 3-8. They obviously had 70% of the footy in their forward half, but they just didn't capitalise, did they? They missed probably 4 shots they should have got. And this breeze is certainly worth 5 goals. So I'd probably put Colonelite Gardens in front at quarter time.
Yeah, in regards to the way they played, as I said, their back line. So the first quarter too, everyone's fresh. The fitness is there. Everyone's fresh. And as I said, this might come back.
3-8
for SMOSH West Lakes in that opening quarter. This might come back to bite them in the last quarter when fatigue sets in and they're going into the breeze.
Well, it's going to be their back half this quarter is going to be under the pump for the whole 30 odd minutes that they're going to play, and yeah, they're going to be under a lot of pressure at their back half, and we'll see how well they stand up.
I reckon that's Ryan Richter now coming to the bench, so probably an opportunity to spell a few blokes.
No, I think Ryan Richter's out there, number 9. He's got the dreadlocks on. So,
wrong ponytail. No, it was Tim Day I was looking at.
And we've still got Big Aiden Parham. He's going to go head-to-head again with the big fella, where is he?
Yeah, Bryce Smith, I think it is.
No, the big ruckman. Is it Hunter Bennett in there? No, it's number 23, sorry. Brock Richards. They're going to go head-to-head.
So up it goes. I think that is actually Bryce Smith there. That was a full forward last quarter. They've done a bit of a change. So they've gone forward, Colonelite Gardens, but good mop up. So let's see. As I said, it's going to be a game of 2 ends. This totally different game now, as opposed to a 50-50 with this breeze. So, wow, they're away. Look at them, Colonelite Gardens. They're pushing that ball forward, turned around there, SMOSH West Lakes. Quick kick out that far side, right in front of the Holy Heaven Firm scoreboard. Ball on the ground. We haven't seen a mark free kick or anything at the moment. So plays ferocious as we speak. Good contest, and the first stoppage in plays is out of bounds. And I'll tell you what, Colonelite Gardens have come out on fire this first minute or so. Now there's going to be a little break because that ball's wide down the other mound. This is why that first quarter went for so long. Look how far they've got to go to get the ball. Forward it goes, Colonelite Gardens first. The ball snaps around on the left into the hot spot, running into goal, bouncing that ball forward was the Colonelite Gardens player. It's right on the point post as we speak. Ball still in play. He's caught, and he is caught there, and he's been caught with a throw. So couldn't get ball to foot there, number 11 for Colonelite Gardens. Sean Ingram.
And a big shout out to Lakeside Roofing, the Lakes Hotel, Birkenhead Tavern, Stannard Homes and St Michael's College from SMOSH West Lakes. They're sponsors for the day, especially the Lakeside Roofing. So if you need a roof, get it.
Today is the day. That's a very good call. So they might want to put one up over the oval here. Don't know how the funding is. Look at that ball. It goes 40 metres forward and then drops once again about 20 metres in a straight line. But in front's the player of the day out there. So the big, tall SMOSH West Lakes player. Quick handball onto the player on the wing, and he's away. Run and carry. A bit like Joe Hannison at the Bulldogs. Quick kick forward, half forward. Yep. Half forward. Yeah, he did. And a quick kick down. Look at that kick. Didn't go very high, but direct. That was Richter again. And this is where the wind's going to play havoc.
That's Stephen Thomas again.
That ball's gone about 20 metres past where it was supposed to be. And we see a Colonel Light Gardens player, Coverdale, I think, coming off with a crook shoulder or arm here.
And have a look at the southern. Have a look at the southern end there, mate. Have a look at that coming in. That is black.
I hope the lights are paid up here.
That is going to absolutely piss down. I can't say any other words.
That's a pity there. Coverdale's just come off holding the arm or shoulder there. See if he can get a bit of work on. He was in a bit of a full bore. Yeah, that's not good.
We're going to have a torrent of rain here very shortly.
Tim Day's come on. Coverdale just getting looked at. Yeah. Pretty full ball clash there before. So here we are, centre half forward position, SMOSH West Lakes. Nathan Brown lines it up. Now he does go central, straight down in front, 2 on 1 being held there. I thought SMOSH West Lakes. Oh, taken high is our man. Number 3 there, Greg Scott. Great Scott, have a look at that. He's been taken high. This is his 4th shot on goal. What are we, 3 minutes into the second quarter?
Just on 4 minutes in.
Yeah, he's had 4 shots on goal now for 1 goal too. Let's see what he does here. He's going to have to go out. He's actually running a little bit left. Now he runs out to the right, really out to the right. Oh. And he kicked that correctly, and that's just about hit the point post on the far left-hand side. I think he'll learn from that kick, and most of the players, if they're paying attention on the ground, will learn from that.
That swung viciously, didn't it?
That took off, yes. And we see here Alex Hughes just pointing. He's on the wing on this side, but he's pointing to his players to push over that far side. So smart player, that good leadership up high there. SMOSH West Lakes, but Parham
James Sibich
took the mark, and off he comes. Look at that, and straight in centre half forward.
And that looks like Blake Elliott, isn't it?
Lockie Young, I reckon it is.
Lockie Young, is it? Yeah, yep. Lockie Young.
He's run on to the left, and he's put that up high, but that's going to end up out near that point post. And a chest mark taken in front there. Our fullback, of course, taking that mark, Emmett Wood. So it's come out to the wing, spear and kick. They're looking inside. The umpire's called it. It's either play on or back 25. Yeah.
Back over his mark.
He's gone over a pole. I reckon the other umpire might have called it by the looks of it.
Yeah.
So a bit of finger pointing out there. The players are caught probably in between the kick at the moment. So that hits grass. Colonel Light Gardens first the ball again.
Good work by
fumbling around there. It's on the ground as we speak, where it's going to spend quick soccer off the ground. SMOSH West Lakes 2-3. Oh, raises the elbow, the big fella. Comes out. Direction was correct. Colonel Light Gardens come back in again with another kick. Round on the left, swings around. This time they use the players.
Yeah, and a good mark. Well done, that Short Ingram.
He's been in the centre of the ground, up and down that ground there a couple of times and hasn't been used. This time he used, and he's going to have a shot before, but he will have to kick across to his left, which is this side of the ground, to swing that, and he's already facing this way. I reckon he's a left footer.
Won't be a problem getting the breeze.
No, he's a right footer. So he's going to have to kick across a bit. Penetrating kick. He's done well there. Straight over the top of the umpire, and he's kicked the goal.
Post height.
That's a nice kick.
Post height.
And that needs to be that penetrating type of kick today. Quick hand to foot, bang, push it through. Don't let the wind do it for you.
That was Short Ingram, mate.
That's a very nice kick. He's been free a few times in the middle of the ground and hasn't been used. That dangerous kick through half back, but that time, nice kick. 45 out, dead in front. And that's that quick use there. Just trying to see who, Coverdale's off now, isn't he? So just trying to see who that other guy was. It might have been Chris Beattie, I reckon, up forward. That's been first to the ball 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, they've got those two
swings around. Yeah.
Forward, 4 playing out in that box formation out at centre half forward.
They've got two talls right back at the goal square. A bloke about 10 metres behind centre half forward, another tall, and then the rest.
It's that Port Adelaide pendulum set up.
Yep. The rest are back. So big bump there in the middle. Comes out SMOSH West Lakes. Hughes again. Blocked him. Nice handball across. This kick's come down, and that's come backwards.
That's gone backwards.
That's like one of those childhood plastic toys that you throw into the wind that comes back over your head, that ball. And, first the ball should be rewarded. No, it's going to be a ball up.
That ball actually went backwards.
It did, yep. Short Ingram, welcome to the winter sport. He's got to get that ball up higher, that umpire. But, taken high there, Colonel Light Gardens. Another ball up here. plenty of call from the sidelines. It's not the coaches, it's just the supporters. So let's just see. It's not going to be a very high throw. There it goes. Up go the big man. So 50-50. Colonel Gardens running towards the ball. That's taken out of bounds.
I think Gorey, to his credit, has said to him, it's not going to be high because if I throw the thing up high, the wind's going to catch it.
Now that umpire's throwing that about 20 metres Colonel Gardens way, advantage, and straight out in front. Can't take it there, so the ball's on the ground. Nice quick tap there. This is where SMOSH West Lakes just need to have a bit of composure with their skills, but not happening there. It's going to be a throw-in.
Have you seen a day like this where the breeze is just that vicious for a long time?
I wouldn't be calling it a breeze, Luke, either. Tornado, cyclone maybe, but she is pretty strong. Yeah, I've played in a bit of this sort of stuff, but look, they've both got to play in it, and it's the team that adapts to the conditions.
Playing conditions like this.
No, that's what I keep saying. It's not a 50-50 game no matter which way you're going. You're playing two different games of football, depending on which way you're kicking. So West Lakes here, they're going to try and carry the ball, and that player is caught and brought to the ground very heavily there. And I think there's going to be a little bit of there's going to be a little bit on after it, and players remonstrating as we speak.
And I think he's
no, hasn't been. I mean, that was a pretty vicious tackle, brought him to the ground, but the player's up and okay, which is what we like to see.
Much in it, but under today's rules, they ping him for sling tackles.
And that was Brock Richards, a big solid guy. But
Emmett Wood there on that far side.
Yeah, it's just come out and come straight back in again, hasn't it? So here it is again on that far side, forward pocket. Oh, just couldn't quite take that. Tim Day takes a dive. Is that acting, or is he going to get it? No, I think the umpires are up to that now.
Got to get the ball back into the corridor.
That was a fair dive. So let's see what they do here. If Colonel Gardens get it, you've called that correctly. Look at their target standing in the corridor here. The big fella, number 1, Peter Rhodes. What a target to kick at if they can get this ball.
Well, this is what SMOSH want. They want the ball sitting down to the side all day.
And this is like the old-fashioned footy you called it, Luke. There's not a lot of players around the ball as we speak. Although they congregate now. One quick handball, Colonel Light, they're going the wrong way. They one step, scrubber along the ground. Who's going to be at it first? They've got it up now. Quick kick in. Oh, Rhodes, we just spoke about him. Couldn't quite take it. Around on the left.
Got it.
And that player, number 19. That's Alistair Fleming. That's the player I've been looking at that's been doing the leads. And he's kicked that one. He's had 3 or 4 goes at it, but he's scored quite well there.
So we go to the firm Harley Heaven scoreboard, and it's SMOSH West Lakes 3 goals 9, Colonel Gardens 3 goals 1. So there's an 8-point differential where we spoke about it that first quarter. Inaccuracy might come back to hurt them. It's we're 10.5 minutes into this second quarter, and it's been all at one end of the ground, hasn't it? So they're going to have to absorb another 20 minutes of this sort of pressure.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, they get a sniff here, Colonel Gardens. Ooh, can't stand still with that ball with players coming through. But, oh, look at that kick. Just a little bit of a trip as he goes out wide. As we said, we're expecting to see it, but this is football, and these guys are going to have to tough it out. You know, I was talking in the car on the way here. You probably get 4 wet days and 16 dry over here, and in Victoria you probably get 4 dry and 16 wet. So there's a big rainbow formed out the back there. What a beautiful sight, if you don't mind. However, Colonel Gardens coming forwards. Here it goes. Inside now. Hughes again, yeah. SMOSH West Lakes take possession. He's bombed that up in the air. Look at that run off half back.
That's great work.
Yeah, Brad Moore ran off half back. The ball set up. And now this is where they want this ball here. Quick snap around the corner, but that's not going to go anywhere.
Lyndon Parham.
And it's actually stayed in play. Richter's got that, yeah. Quick handball over. This is like circle work, Luke. It's come from this side of the ground out to the other side, right in front of the rainbow.
That's Nathan Brown.
And look at that kick. Get hold of that. Dive and make me look good, we used to say. There's our little number 3 again. Quick chip kick in, and holding it up now is Chris Beattie. He's come out the other side, so we're just going to see them load up from out here. Kane Cornish, kick down the wing. This has to hit Bennett again, through the hands. Bennett and Hughes. Who's first to the ball? Oh, in the back taken. No. Hughes on top for the tackle. Play on calls the umpire. Taken high. And there's going to be a ball up.
Stacks on, and Gorey's going to come in and throw it up.
Good little passage of play, that. Colonel Gardens loaded up. Kane pulled the trigger, came out the other side of the ground where, you know, if West Lakes get it here, they're in a good straight line to goals against that win. So the ball's on the ground. Bennett, as we'd expect, on the ground as well. First the ball with Blake Elliott. You got to be hard and tough. The little nuggety bloke's now on the ground. Oh, he's throwing that ball a little bit wonky there, but
man up.
Yeah, and umpire in the way. So SMOSH West Lakes have got it. It's come down the half-forward flank, up in the air, high ball. Get hold of it there, boys. Ball bobbling around. Who's going to be first to it? No one. We're going to see a big pack form. And coming in quite late there was Sean Ingram. Doesn't mind getting in around it as well.
No one being able to quite judge their marks, can they? It's very difficult.
Yeah, so ball up in the air. Here's a kick forward. The old screw reverse, centre half forward. Centre half back drops it there, but they've got time to get away with it. But he's going to hit us. Oh, he's going to hit.
Big
Peter
fella.
Rhodes there.
Big Rhodes.
Round on the left. Oh, drops that funny and just pops it forward. Why would you do it? Anyway, they've come back around SMOSH West Lakes. Quick call, Bennett's. Now, this guy will do something with it. Look at him. Left, right, this way, that way.
He's been really good today.
Straight towards goal, just lines it up, and that's a nice towering grab there.
But they're getting numbers
Keaton
back.
Thomas.
SMOSH.
Yeah, so this is where they're going to get tested, Luke.
Getting numbers back in.
And that fitness, the unusual kicking style, but jumping in front, Colonel Gardens. Players are a little bit static here at the moment. Oh, he snapped that back, and there's a grab.
You can have a shot on goal.
Yeah, about 30 metres out. Yeah. Oh.
Slight angle.
Stutter.
About 45 degrees.
And that's
should get this, mate.
Brugioni.
Yep.
Well, he should. He's if he kicks this straight and penetrating like the last shot at goal, the wind's straight behind him. So let's just see as he lines up. Now he starts on the left foot for a right footer. So there's the first thing he's done well. As he runs in, swings around, he's actually a left footer. He's kicked it. He's kicked it
through.
Straight. Yep. Nice work. Good goal there. Brugioni.
So we go to the firm Harley Heaven scoreboard, and it's SMOSH West Lakes 3 goals 9, and Kernlight Gardens 4 goals 1. So Smoshy's holding that slight advantage there of 2 points.
And they haven't done a lot since quarter time, the SMOSH West Lakes team, in regards to goal scoring.
Yes.
They've been working hard, but just can't get it on the board. And yeah, it is the weather conditions, sure, but
the wind's worth 7 now, I reckon. Yeah.
Look at it. It is blowing that hard, so that's no exaggeration here. And
we said 5, and that wasn't under calling it well.
We keep seeing that ball when SMOSH West Lakes try and go forward. It just holds up in the wind, which we'd expect now. You know, we're not going to keep calling it every time, but you do see that high kick just isn't working. Just drops. Players are set up 5-10 metres back from the ball, and it drops to the ground in front of them. So we see congestion now. There's a few players around the ball as the umpire balls it up. Oh, tap over the head. Very clever there. Kernlight Gardens, but it goes out towards that boundary. And that was Chad Hamilton. He's a big, tall lad.
Yeah,
very clever there. That was a tap more than just a punch. As we see the ball come back through SMOSH West Lakes, and good grab right in front of our Harley Heaven and Firm scoreboard. On the left foot, trying to penetrate forward.
Lockie Young.
And there's our, just
finds
about.
Greg Scott.
Yeah, into the fence there. The umpire's going to call that.
It's a free kick to Greg Scott or a mark.
And a bit of carry on now. I don't know whether they think he dropped that or not, but.
No, he's going to pay. No, it's going to be a throw-in.
I reckon he dropped it. He smashed into that sign there, so I just hope he's all right. So we do see the throw, and the 2 ruckmen have had to run from the centre of the ground here, so they've run in, haven't broke stride. As SMOSH West Lakes take control out of the ruck. Ball's on the ground, bobbling around. A tackle there by Philip Williams. No, it's come out, free kick, and across the ground, Bennett's again.
Yeah, he was very smart. He sat in that rebound protection spot.
He did.
Looking, just waiting for the ball to come back out for him.
Now he's kicked it long down sort of the centre wing, but first the ball, SMOSH West Lakes caught. Oh, great that's tackle. A crunching tackle. And away they come, capitalise on that, reward for effort, and they're away. If that ball can just pop up, he can't get hold of it. Yeah, he's away, great shepherd. Yeah, great shepherd by Rhodes there. He's shepherding again. 2 bounces, 3 bounces. Come on, son, make a name for yourself. He's kicked it into the man on the mark.
Great work from the SMOSH defence.
He was set. He saw bright lights coming up for a goal.
Thomas again. I reckon he saved them.
That is fantastic by SMOSH West Lakes there.
That's Stephen Thomas again.
I reckon you're correct.
He's a good footballer.
Keaton Thomas, was it?
No, that's Stephen Thomas.
Stephen Thomas?
Yep. No, it's Keaton Thomas.
Keaton Thomas, yeah. So huge right in front. right in front of Colonel Light Gardens goal here. He's going to clear for SMOSH West Lakes. Bit quieter this quarter, but he's been out our side of the ground. I've noticed that's a nice long kick if he can keep that in play, but he can't, unfortunately. He's kicked that too far, if you like. But, yeah, he's played on this side of the ground, which I found quite interesting because he hasn't had a lot of the ball this quarter.
No, that was Stephen Thomas there, 32 and 34. Very hard. Similar sorts of builds, yeah.
So the ball in now. Player drops to his knees first, gets it out. This needs to hit, and it does. And I reckon that's Nathan Gregor. We haven't called much today. Got the ball under the wing there, calling for movement from his players. If he pops this up again, which he has, don't tell me we're going to see another out on the full. No, it stayed in, out the back of the pack. Colonel Light Gardens again, quick kick in. This time it's out of bounds on the full.
And they've gone 18 and a half minutes into the second quarter, and it's SMOSH West Lakes 3 goals 9, and they lead Colonel Light Gardens 4 goals 1. So only the 2 points, but you would think that Colonel Light Gardens might go in with a 2 to 3 goal lead at half time.
Just looking at this Keaton Thomas, because this is going to be a long quarter. This is what we're saying, folks. He's down the back of the mound there.
Yeah.
He's got to come back from that mound, past the bin, jump the fence. He's done a steeplechase before he even gets on the ground. Now he's got to use the ball, that last 10% of possession, and really his only option has to be down the line. I'm just looking at players. Oh, he's played on. Little Shepherd, very smart there. Awkward kicking style, but effective as it hits the ground. And here it comes back. Prepare yourself, son, because it's coming straight back at you. On the ground, 50-metre mark. Oh, good tackle on the ground there, but SMOSH West Lakes may be clearing. Ball bobbling around. Quick left foot kick down towards the centre of the ground. First of the ball. Good take there, and that was Phil Williams.
Yeah.
And he's kicked into the man on the mark. He's gone back for it, taken high. Still in play. Crowd are applauding, and the ball's going to stop still there for a ball up, I'd say. The umpires let that go a fair bit.
Yeah, Gory let it go, and so he should. That's good work from Gory.
That was a really good take by Williams, but he just had no options as he came out. And on the ground again, we're going to see a second ball up here, are we? No, they're away. Good strength. Good strength, and that was Nathan Brown on the right foot.
Pushed under the footy.
And I'll tell you what, great Scott. He's got a quick handball out. Can't quite get it through there, SMOSH West Lakes. Hovering around, and I reckon that's Richter again. Geez, he's desperate, isn't he, down there, Luke?
Yeah, he is.
He saved the day with the wind. He saved the day against the wind. He's doing a good job. Really good job.
Playing a good game in defence.
So no one back in the goal square. If West Lakes can get a quick kick out, a punch forward it is, and it's been a free kick. Yeah, Colonel Light Gardens there. And now they've got players out this side of the ground.
The big fella Hamilton down there?
He's got the long sleeves on. I can't see at the minute. He's just come down the wing. Oh, player dropping the mark there, but good recovery. I reckon that was our number 11 again.
Ingram
again, yep. Look at that kick down the ground. That's 2, 3 kicks. That's exactly what you called earlier, Luke. And round they go, third kick. You know, it's out of bounds in the forward pocket, but there's those 2 or 3 kicks.
You've got to
bang, bang, bang.
Corridor. Why are they sitting on that boundary line?
I reckon that wind might have a little bit to do with it, because that was that rush kick. But
they've got to start getting the footy into the corridor.
Well, we called it earlier. Ingram has been free up and down the middle of the ground. He's almost been on tram tracks a couple of times and hasn't been used. And just a bit of vision. Yeah, just a bit of vision, and they'd be lining up a set shot for goal. So here we have SMOSH West Lakes now. The guy's done the steeplechase again. He's tried to kick this short, and it's been effective. And that's Keaton Thomas there with the ball in his hands. Looking. He's got that awkward kicking style, but you know what? It's effective as well. He's just having a look. Down the ground. Pretty predictable here. Oh, he's sort of speared that in a spiralling torpedo, end on end, and it's come back Colonel Light Gardens. And there we see big Bryce Smith, who started in the ruck, playing up forward. He's a good target.
Should kick this. Certainly the distance is not going to be an issue.
I was just going to say, he's probably, 40, 45 out.
We saw the
little bit of an angle.
Go through post high.
Yeah. Push that penetrating kick. The wind maybe a little bit across the ball. But look, if you're sound with your technique, which I believe he is, runs in, drops it a bit pointy, and
missed far side.
You wouldn't believe it. He's missed it on the side that the wind's coming from.
Yeah. Didn't expect that.
So interesting, yeah. That would have been nice to see that from behind. I don't reckon that turned at all. So we have Brad Moore now looking to kick in. So bit of a stutter. He's tried for about 50 metres and didn't quite get hold of it. And he's coughed that ball up, although his teammates now backing up in the back pocket.
James Savage.
Very good, yeah. Around he goes. Quick handball. down the line. It's not quite on the wing, but it's all Colonel Gardens. That ball's bounced back the other way. Around and around we go. Quick handball forward. It's going to hit the ground. You're going to be in trouble, son. Get rid of it, he says.
Oh, no, ball.
Call from the crowd, and he is gone. That's a good tackle, and that was Sibic. And as you called it, very fast, closing speed, reward for effort. I reckon he's just been dour out there, and that's that back line. Nice kicking style, but he's kicked it up to a big pack. They can't get hold of it, SMOSH West Lakes. Around it comes now, right to SAAFL. Oh, pushing the back, surely. No, been paid. Colonel Gardens have it. Players spread wide. He's got one player here, but he's gone back to where it came, and he's picked out Rhodes, has dropped that. On the ground, bobbles, time to pick up around on the left, and bang it goes. 30 metres scramble kick forward. Oh, nice by the SMOSH West Lakes player, but capitalising here and chipping in forward. And just got his hands to that ball. Bryce Smith couldn't quite get that. Nice little piece of play. We could see what they were endeavouring to do.
Well, it's all level here, mate, on the firm.
There we have it.
Scoreboard. It's 3-9 to 4-3, and
I reckon there's probably about another 8 minutes to go in the quarter or so. And
they're probably a bit longer with that. Time
the amount of times they have to go and get it.
And the ball spending the whole of the quarter here at the Pernex end of the ground, and the Hodgesmart end of the ground, not seeing much of the footy at all.
So Brad Moore looking to kick that, and he's only looking out there. He's kicked it to himself, bit dangerous. He takes off, almost caught. Quick handball out to the back pocket.
Sibic.
And Sibic again. Out he goes. That nice kicking style out the wing. Get up, son. Can't get up in front there. Colonel Gardens are in front, so it's coming back around. SMOSH West Lakes, 2 or 3 quick handballs into the middle of the ground. That's the dangerous kick, because Colonel Gardens, he should have had that, and I think he's been awarded the free. Hunter Bennett. And it comes out now. Here we see him loading up off the other side. Richter and a good shepherd off the back of the pack.
Straight to the middle.
Straight to the teeth of goal, and can't quite take it there. And I think the player's just about knocked out his teammate there.
But that's where they should be going. Don't go via the Cape. Go straight to the hot spot.
And how quick was that? We're not going to see the zigzag leads. We're not going to see the repeat leads. We're not going to see much even of the fat side. We're just going to see that. Get it in. So turning Tim Day, right foot, left foot, and can't kick on his left very long. So West Lakes are just going to dribble it along the ground here, and it's going to come straight back at him if the shepherd can be provided.
Dawkins.
So round on his right, he's just popped that up in the air, and that's gone through.
Kane Cornish, what a goal.
And I don't reckon, if we really were serious and asked him, I don't reckon he meant that in regards to being a goal. He was on the 50-metre line, looked and popped it up, and from our view here, straight through the middle. You'll take that every day of the week.
So we go to the firm Harley Heaven scoreboard, and it's Colonel Gardens now 5 goals 3 lead SMOSH West Lakes 3-9. And a big shout out again to Lakeside Roofing from SMOSH West Lakes, their major sponsor for today, along with the Lakes Hotel, the Birkenhead Tavern, Stannard Homes and St Michael's College. So thank you all here to our sponsors for today from the SMOSH West Lakes Footy Club.
And I'll tell you what, she's just erupted a bit to our left here. The Colonel Gardens crew are up and about, and they've got Big Hamilton now in the middle. I reckon he's tallest bloke on the ground. Couldn't quite win that tap though. Aidan Parham again, very good ruckman. They're out on that far wing, and that's James Sibic again has been very getting a fair few possessions out there. Yep, very prominent.
Yeah, he's on Greg Scott now, so
yep.
He's rotated off a few blokes.
Parham, look at Parham charging in there, the raging bull. Gets the tap out too, and the ball scrambling around, and back it comes. Colonel Gardens all thrown to the ground. You can't do that. And that was Philip Williams. The intent was there, but in comes Bennett. This is a very dangerous kick, Luke. Very dangerous kick.
Be going into the centre of the ground.
Look at the numbers. They get this out. They're out. Yeah. Here they are, Luke. Here they come. Down to that forward pocket, and bang, this guy will get around on his left foot. No, looks on the right, and he's had a fair quarter. Alistair Fleming.
Get it into the hot spot.
He's going to be having a look here.
Just get it into the hot spot.
I'm not sure whether he's a left or right footer, to be honest. He's been left. He's spinning around. He's going on the right. And he's kicked that high and handsome right into the goal square, but a point here. Wowee, that was exciting. I reckon that was just about play of the day there. Very quick, down it came, and boy, they were into it.
Head of the square and get around front.
Look how quick,
Get front and square.
One end to the other. Bang, exciting, get it into the middle. That's where the teams want it. Put it in there and beat them at it if you're good enough.
27,
you know?
27 and a half minutes in.
Wow.
We play 34 again.
And look at Keaton Thomas just waving the hand, patting it down. Slow it down, boys. Slow it down. It's in my hands. God help the next bloke in line. And there it is, Colonel Light Gardens. He tried to slow that down, the big fella. The intent was there, but look at them. They're loading up again. Look at the numbers. Just about every player on the ground is inside the 50 here, and that's a big pack. Rhodes goes up and crunches the pack. Player still down for SMOSH West Lakes there. That was Rhodes who came in, used his weight. There he is again, as we call it. Little chip kick forward. Get it up, boys. They can't quite up and around and playing for the free kick, and he's got it.
He's got it. Is that
Alistair Fleming again?
Yeah.
Another shot on goals. You can put that down the Rhodes. Yep. Boy, oh boy, he got in there and threw players around and attacked the ball. And now we see a teammate. You know, how many legs does it take to get the goal? 36, because every player has to put in.
This is very important.
Here we go now. Pretty hard kick from there. He's just stabbed, poked at it, and straight across for a point. Hughes is going to take the kick now. He's taking the responsibility, and he's looking down. He's looking to switch play, but there's no one here, and some of the players have got their back to the ball. This is almost
this side, though. Don't come out this side.
This is almost like the old days where you had to wait for the umpire to wait to stop the flags. And what's he do? Coughed it up. So
Emmett Wood
now, our full back. Have a shot, son. Come on. No, because unselfish. Good backman. Tips it in that hot spot. Guess who again? Number 19. There he is, Alistair Fleming. Can't quite get it up. First the ball, always kick that backwards to go forwards. The Colonel Light Gardens, they're out here. One handball, two handball. Out to that far side, they get out of the way, Water Girl. And get out of the way she does as the ball dribbles out of bounds in front of Up the Den. Interesting. I wonder what they do.
No, that's the catch cry here for.
Oh well.
That's the catch cry. The Den.
I see the hashtag Up the Den.
The Lions Den. The Lions. It's SMOSH West Lakes Lions, mate.
And the throw in you see to advantage to Colonel Light Gardens, just in the way that ball swirled around in the air. But a quick forward SMOSH West Lakes, trying to get down to that was the big fella there. Lyndon Parham couldn't get down.
Ingram.
So there they go. Ingram again, was it? Rhodes couldn't quite get to that. So Sibic, he's had a fair quarter, hasn't he? And that's a good view there. He's looked inside deliberately for that kick to Williams.
Phil Williams.
Hard at it, Williams, but mopping up. Yeah, there's our man again, Richter. Wow, he's been good. Been really good back there. So just a popped up kick in the air here and flying high, but can't take it there.
Would have been a spectacular.
Wow, I reckon that was Tim Day. And here's our man again, kicking into the goal square, and that was Alistair Fleming.
He's got it.
And he's kicked it. Fleming that was.
Is that Fleming again?
Yes, Alistair Fleming. He's had 3 or 4 times this quarter. He's wheeled around on the left and right, trying to have a go. He's kicked 2 though. One from a set shot and one there from play on. But he's had a few possessions this quarter. What do you reckon? I reckon that's, you've got to reward the guys down the back line. Ryan Richter again, down back. And we saw that big high fly. I reckon it was Tim Day there that got up high, but well crumbed. So they've got 2 down, right down in the goal square. They've got Rhodes just sitting 30 metres back of centre half forward, and the rest of the players up on the line. Hughes is on his own now, charging in for West Lakes. Can't get near it because he's on this far side, coming down to the wing. And here they go again. Colonel Light Gardens, 1, 2, 3 handballs, 4 handballs. Kick forward again to that hot spot. They've got the players down here, and there's a chest mark.
They've used the corridor.
Bryce Smith.
And it's at the moment on the firm Harley Evans scoreboard at 6-5-41 to 3-9-27. So you've got a 14-point lead. You get this is that 3-goal lead. I was talking about. That's 21 points.
Exactly right.
Tough.
Almost junk time. And when scores were level, you called it precisely, Luke. There's probably 2 or 3 more goals in it. As he lines up, holds the pointy end of the ball. And he's kicked that. He's kicked that to this side again. I called him as a good kick before. Yeah, he's good, but inaccurate.
Still a good 15.
Work that one out.
15-point lead going into half time, and if they score another one, that's pretty hard to catch up. You've got to kick. They'd have to kick 7 in the third quarter to give themselves a real lead.
They kicked 5 this quarter, haven't they? 5-1, 5-5, 5-6, something like that.
Yeah.
So we're waiting for that ball. This is what takes the time away from the quarter.
And that's what I'm saying. It is a 7-goal breeze, or it's a 7-score breeze, because they've kicked, 5 goals.
So now, we do see the lead out this side from Sibic, and he gets to that. Good pace. It's the next kick from here. He holds that a long time, puts it down the wing, and he's got a free kick down the field.
That's a bit soft, I think.
So this is the first time of the quarter they're trying to load up. At the 31-minute mark, they're trying to load up down that far side.
Given it 25 as well, that seems a bit.
So Lockie Young has the ball here. He's a left footer. He's gone towards goals. It's drifting out to the left. It's right in the middle at the front there. Parham couldn't get it. Good strong tackle there. He almost ran himself into the tackle. This is where West Lakes want the ball, if they can get one here at least. So up it goes. Rhodes, I reckon. Oh, and there's the siren as that kick comes forward.
We saw that one goal in that first quarter to that end, which is worth 2 or 3.
Yep, you are exactly correct. What did West Lakes? They even score a point that quarter?
I don't think they did.
3-9.
Yeah, they did. Greg Scott had a shot where he should have scored and went through for a point. So at half time here at Bartley Terrace, it is. On the firm Harley Heaven scoreboard, it is 6 goals, 642 to Kernlight Gardens to 3 goals, 9-27. So a 15-point lead to Kernlight Gardens, who have played the better footy and have been more accurate in front of goal.
Yeah, I think so. As I said, look, they're second on the ladder. They've lost a few. They've got a bit to play for. They've got something to prove. You can't come here and just say, oh, well, look at the conditions and all that. You've got to embrace what's going on. It's what happens inside that white line. And, mate, they're hard at it. They are hard at it. And that Ryan Richter down the back line, mate, he knows his way around and he's doing all right. So if we look at our goal scorers, SMOSH West Lakes, Matthew Gates with 1, Alex Hughes with 1, and we haven't got our third one. Yes, we have. It was Greg Scott. And for Kernlight Gardens, Brigoni with 1. We have Kane Cornish with 1. Sean Ingram with 1. Alistair Fleming with 2. And Bryce Smith with 1. So that quarter, Alistair Fleming, as we mentioned in the commentary there, just before we go to that, we've got Kernlight Gardens are just meeting on the wing here with their arms all around them. SMOSH West Lakes have already left the oval. So that was interesting, and they're jogging off. They're up and about, Kernlight Gardens at the moment. And yeah, we're just going back. Alistair Fleming was quite lively in the forward line. He was a target up forward. He ran around, got the ball in his hands a few times. He's either popping it forward to the advantage of a teammate or having a shot himself. Ended up with 2 goals that quarter. Coverdale we saw come off. I don't think he's been back on at this point. Brigoni's been around it. He's kicked the goal. Peter Rhodes has given them something up forward as well. And they've been lining up down that windy end, or the end the ball's been at most of the time, with the tall players down that end. Kane Cornish has been around. Josh Bennett's having a great game, of course. Ryan Richter, I'd say he's really holding up well for Kernlight Gardens in the back line. And so we go down. Chad Hamilton, big tall player in the ruck there, of course. Sean Ingram really positions himself well around the ground. Looks for the ball, doesn't get used some of the time. If they're a little bit more bold with squaring it up, he might get used a bit more. Hunter Bennett was the one who did get the ball in the middle being used. Emmett Wood's been good down back. A lot of kick-ins in that first quarter. Second quarter there we saw him almost having a shot on goal, but he unselfishly passed it away. Very unusual for a backman. I would have said have a shot, son, but no, good team play there. We come down, and of course Bryce Smith has been active up forward, big number 32. So that's Kernlight Gardens. SMOSH West Lakes. So Philip Williams has been hard at it. In hard tackling there, he dumped the player to the ground, gave away a free, but kept at it when it was his turn to go for the ball as well. So very hard at it. Matthew Gates has done very well. Sean Sampson at times. Alex Hughes that quarter just faded out of it. Just tend to feel he played on this side of the ground, and as we saw with that last kick in from full back, he took the kick in out to Sivic down this side of the ground. They almost had a shot on goal at in the last minute of play, and that was due to just clever work there by Alex Hughes. But yeah, very quiet that quarter. Ryan Haylock, Blake Elliott haven't caught a lot of. Nathan Brown been in and out. Brad Moore's had a fair bit of it down there, once again kicking it at full back. The big tall guy, Lockie Young, of course. Milosevic on and off. Lyndon Parham in and out in the ruck. Sibic had a very good quarter that quarter at on the far side on the wing half-back flank. Really good use of the ball. His pace is really showing out today. Parham, of course, as well. Greg Scott, interesting little player. As we're just bringing in a guest. Keaton Thomas has been around the place. Who have we got here, Luke?
We've got Lukey Stubing. Now, Lukey, he was a former coach here, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the formation of the club. Welcome, Lukey. How are you, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks, Hose. A windy day down here today, isn't it? Straight off the top of the white caps. Yeah, I guess yeah, it's a heritage day for us today, so it's really celebrating a part of our heritage, which is the West Lakes Footy Club, and 13 years they wore that Guernsey for before we merged with West Lakes merged with SMOSH in '96, and then as they say, the rest is history. But yeah, certainly an important part of our history, and there's a lot of guys from the old West Lakes Footy Club that are here today and celebrating a couple of premierships.
Mate, I can remember playing on this ground for Ingle Farm in 1986, and I had my nose smashed all over my face. What position did you play?
Well, I reckon I might have been playing with SMOSH back in those days, so I played with both clubs. But yeah, they were a pretty hard-nosed bunch, the West Lakes Footy Club back in their day, yeah, that's for sure.
A funny little story. I could probably take to the blade of grass where it happened, and had my nose smashed all over my face, and a little bit interesting. I got reported later in the game and went to the tribunal and said, oh, well, I was semi-conscious. I didn't know what I was doing. Got done, got rubbed out, came back. I had to have my nose reconstructed, blah, blah, blah. Came back, played Modbury, got reported again, got off. So, but I do remember West Lakes. They were a very strong team back in the day. And look, you've got great facilities here. And I was calling there before. I saw the Up the Den sign out there. Yeah. I thought, I wonder what they do. And of course, that's the call out here now.
It is up the Den. So, yeah, you know, we've had some great improvements to the facilities over the last couple of years. We got some good funding for the lighting. So our lighting's fantastic. And
just where did the Semaphore Park Football Club fit into all of this?
So Semaphore Park was a club in its own. Yeah, red and yellow. They were a club in their own right until '83 when West Lakes. So they were actually just behind us. They used to play on the school oval, which is, you know, it's a tiny little oval. But yeah, so it's you know, the Semaphore Park Footy Club's got a really proud and fairly famous history in this area, and yeah, it is. Yep, that's all part of the history, and we've got. I can show you a post inside later. It shows the history of the Guernseys and how it all came together. But
and the amalgamation's gone well. So since '96. So how's the club been the last 3 years? You've been up and down in the grades. What's the highest grade that you've achieved, and where do you see yourselves currently? And
yeah, probably. In recent time, probably our best result was in 2013. We finished third in Div 2 that year.
Wow.
Should have won a qualifying final, except they all started fighting.
Yeah, so no, look, we have been up and down. The last couple of years have been particularly hard. I think the one thing we are proud of is we're a pretty authentic footy club. We don't pay a lot of dollars.
Yep.
So we've got, you know, a really large portion of our senior players are really playing for the club, which we like. I mean, it doesn't always get you the win, but you know, Div 4 at the moment, I think, you know, we see ourselves definitely higher than that.
Yeah,
as a footy club.
Look, I think what you're talking about there, though, is very poignant for a lot of people out there. You know, you've got your mercenaries that do go around chasing dollars and all that. And look, we both probably came through an era where that was foreign to us, you know, paid players and that, unless you had SAAFL guys. And look, I went up the country and, you know, certainly wasn't paid much there. It was just petrol money and that. And so you're talking about your culture and I look at these guys, you know, you might finish at 33, 35, and you look back and you say, you know, 10 or 12 years at the one club, if this is the case here, and a lot of players can't say that. And if you can build that in, you know, what does the club offer to players outside of money? Well, if they come here, I think you've got good facilities, as you said, the lighting is good, the culture. I mean, we look here today at the crowd for Division 4 game with wind and probably rain expected. And the crowd's absolutely roaring.
Yeah.
The atmosphere's fantastic, and you know, if you're in football to enjoy your football and not worry about the politics and the money side of it and that, these are the clubs. This is the grassroots stuff. And when you look back at your career at the end of it, whether you've played in the premiership or not, but yourself made some lifelong friends out of it, these are the sort of clubs where this can be done.
Yeah, that's right. And look, there's absolutely no judgment of clubs that operate differently, because, you know, I mean, for us, we don't have the capacity to generate the funds to be that type of footy club, and there's other clubs that do. So, you know, I think it's just for us, it's staying true to what you are as a club, and we just understand that that's what we are as a footy club. But I think you're right. I think there's different experiences to be had at our footy club versus that different style of football. But yeah.
I was just going to ask, sorry, juniors? How are you going with juniors?
Junior program's very strong.
Yep. Because that's your future right there.
That's right. And that's the thing, probably more important for us than a lot of other clubs, because we really do have to make sure we hang on to our juniors. And look, I don't know, we've done a pretty good job of that. I think there's always room for improvement with that sort of things.
And is that called SMOSH West Lakes as well?
It is, yep.
And would you have some of your juniors with St Michael's, I suppose, they're playing at the college and then play here as well? Is there a bit of that going on, I guess?
We have a fair portion of St Michael's Old Scholars playing at the club, but I don't think it's any greater than a Flinders Park or a Henley. And so that's probably not a connection that's as strong as it used to be. However, we still play a game at the school. The school still sponsors the club, and we have a lot of involvement. Our president's a teacher at the school. But you know, we've I guess we got the best of both worlds with the West Lakes heritage and also the St Michael's heritage. But I think we've got so many good clubs down in the west that you know, for St Michael's students, it's a pretty tough choice. So we're just one of those options for them.
You've even got, as you said, Flinders Park, Woody South. I know my son, a lot of his mates, they come from Nazareth, so they didn't have an Old Scholars to go to. And a lot of them went to Flinders Park, and then they went to Woody South. And there's so many options around the place. You got probably, you know, Henley down the road as well, and so on. You know, but look,
Stubber was a very good player at the Henley Footy Club himself.
Yeah, I did play.
Defender and bowler.
Thanks, Hose. You're too kind. I did play a few years at Henley as well, and then eventually came back. But you know, and I think it's important too that we players that do decide to move on for whatever reason, we try and deal with that. You know, we try to make sure they remain friends of the footy club. And
doors are always open.
That's right. Yeah.
And a bit of noise going on back here. There's, I'm sure, plenty of stories. And how have you found the day back here? We're at half time, so there's still a fair bit to go yet. Not only on the field, but off the field, I suppose. There's a few stories come out.
You're right. Well, a lot of the old West Lakes boys are here, and they certainly love a beer. So I reckon it'll be hear a few good yarns, and it'll be a good place to be around in a couple of hours' time.
Yeah. And, and just looking on the field, we were saying there, you know, SMOSH West Lakes, that first quarter, they tend to kick a lot of points, and we're just wondering whether that's going to maybe count against them in the last quarter when they're going into the wind. And we saw Colonel Gardens, they're pushing into each other and everything out here at just come as teams back on the field here. But how do you think you're going to go in the second half?
Well, hopefully we straighten ourselves up with the wind again. I felt we went out that far side a bit too much, didn't we? That's probably why we kicked points, and that's what Colonel Gardens didn't. They didn't do that. Yeah. So if we can keep the ball out this side of the ground, I think we should be able to kick some goals.
And you've got, we're just looking at a couple of the players there, but Greg Scott there popped up. We didn't have his number in the first quarter, but he had 4 shots on goal, 3 shots on goal in the first quarter and 1 in the second there. He'd had 4 shots within 1 and a bit quarters, and I thought, geez, he looks a little bit lively down and around the forward line and that. He goes all right.
He's been off at Rosewater for a couple of years, but he's a SMOSH boy through and through, and it's great to have him back. So really great player to watch. And
the coach, Sean Glacken, gets on very well with all the boys and around the club and so on. I'm always interested in how the coaches are going.
Glack's is going really well. He's I've been watching from a distance for a couple of years, and we've had a couple of pretty ordinary years. And to go about it the way he has, to stay, you know, keep that belief in the players, and And just a really calm communicator, and I think he's just been super patient with the boys, and hopefully it turns around for him.
So just having a look at our game at the moment there, that Hughes there, we see he had a really good first quarter, and then he played on this side of the ground in the second quarter, and we didn't see him a lot. Just tell us about a few of these players. He really looks like he can go all right, this Alex Hughes. Yeah,
he does, number 7. He's just pushing out into the pocket there. I doubt whether they're going to kick over into that pocket. They'll go long down the outside.
Pretty predictable, isn't it? Look at that. Yeah. And he's dropped that.
Yeah, some great club sponsors. Today, our exclusive sponsors, Lakeside Roofing, long-term sponsor, the Lakes Hotel, and the Birkenhead Tavern. Stannard Homes have just come on board, and of course St Michael's College. Great sponsors of the club.
It's going to be a good little battle here. Brad Moore and Sean Ingram, just in the middle there. This good little battle is two really good players.
Yeah, Brad's our captain, and he'll keep him honest, that's for sure.
So Bennett comes out this side. Just talking about that, we're very close to the wing here. Down the ground it comes. And who have we got here?
And that's Steph Thomas, long-term A-grade player for the club.
Yep. And just give us an idea. Who's he
to Maury. There? He's got Maury pushing back, looking into the middle, but I'd like him to go into this pocket, which I think he's going to do.
And he's got the...
Son of the great Towie Moore from the Kilburn Footy Club.
Look at that kick too. Nice kick to the hot spot. Dropping that mark there is Bryce Smith, but they're going to get a quick clearing kick, but can SMOSH West Lakes bring it back in? Not quite there. Good tackle. Gets out of it. Just a blind handball, and I reckon Sibic, what do you reckon? He's
gathered that, and Sibic takes the ball, and he'd
outrun anyone out there, wouldn't he?
He's miscued that one. That looked a bit clumsy. That'd be in the back. Yeah, good decision, umpire.
He's probably a little bit fatigued. He had a very good second quarter, Sibic.
He did. He did. And he does burn the juice quickly, so he regularly needs a spell. But he's
power player.
Power player.
Yeah, power, and then needs to recover. So this bloke's been all right for him. Luke Richter on that far side. He's come down that wing. And there's a strong grab. Who have we got here?
That's Matthew Gates.
Yeah, he's had a very good game. Now, there's the vision we want. He looks inside. Although they put it down, good recovery there. William Kwan couldn't quite get it. Colonel Light Gardens come out in the middle of the grounds. Big Shepherd, player free, chips it out. Now, they're going to attack from this side of the ground by the looks of it. Who have we got here at full-back running out?
Nato Gregor. He's tapped it out to Alex Hughes and over to Steph Thomas. So just a little chip kick to Nathan Brown, who will steady him up.
And Big Gregor put the Shepherd in as well. So you guys now coming forward, SMOSH West Lakes. But Colonel Light Gardens mopping up again. Richter again. They're out that far side. It's a long way home from here. So can we get it? There's our man, great Scott. He comes in, puts a good bump on, and that's to the advantage of SMOSH West Lakes. Over the top, here he is again. Scott, has he got a second effort? Can't quite get there as the ball dribbles out. So
probably not the side of the ground for either team at the moment, is it?
So actually, SMOSH West Lakes have got a free kick, and I reckon, is that Lockie Young on the left foot, and he's kicked it into Sibic. Couple of steps, bang, the ball doesn't quite float, but it could bounce through here fortuitously. SMOSH West Lakes this way, that way, round on the handball in there.
And out of bounds.
The idea was right. Big Lyndon Parham. It's a big body to move around, mate, and he couldn't quite get the job done.
No, that's right.
Or we should say unselfish. Could have kicked it, but shared it.
Now, how are you blokes surviving out here? I am absolutely freezing.
Well rugged up, mate. I've got a Richmond jacket, mate. That always keeps me warm. So out it comes Bennett's now with a kick down the bound line. And as we see, Colonel Light Gardens loading up from this side of the ground. And we've got Adam Brugioni here looking, unsure. They've got possession, but he's just popped that up to a 50-50. And in front, not quite taking that, but good, strong second effort, Stephen Thomas. He looks like he goes right.
He does. He's got beautiful hands overhead. Look, he does waste the ball at times, but beautiful hands and a great player. Look
at him now. Actually, that's he's back on that Coverdale that came off in the second quarter. He's back on him, but how tight is he on his man? And here you go. Look at that. A straight kick down over the head. Not quite getting it done as Nathan Brown. He's come a long way since the Bulldogs, and Richmond doesn't look quite the same player, but...
Yeah, he's been a great player for the club, Brown. He's been around for a long time, and just one of our tough midfielders now.
Yeah, good straight ahead attack, wasn't it? So Richter now has the actual kick in, pops it very wide, and I reckon this is where you can get lost, don't you think, out on that far side there?
That's right, they could spend the whole quarter out there, I think.
Yeah, so you normally give away that first kick, it's this next kick, and there we see the 50-50 up in the air to a contest. can't quite take the mark there, but good second effort on the ground, the SMOSH West Lakes, but it's come out to the wing, and I reckon we're going to see it. No, it stayed in play there, turning around on the left. It hasn't opened up here. It's out of bounds though. Once that kick gets past and the midfielders can't keep up, it just really opens up. And we were commenting before that it's almost like the old days of football here, where the players are a bit more positional, not so much of the press.
Yeah.
As we've seen. So the two ruckmen are lining up big roads, of course, for Colonel Gardens. Look at that ball gets taken. Ball's hit the ground. Out of pops. Who we got? There's our man Keaton Thomas. That awkward kicking style. Yeah.
The rush kick into the forward line. It's coming straight back out.
And that's Richter again. And I reckon he might have just about, no, hasn't popped it. This way, that way. Alistair Fleming, very clever in that second quarter, although he's out on the wing now. Hope he doesn't realise he's in the forward line. No, out of bounds again. So if we look across the ground, we see, you wouldn't have seen this in the old days, most of the players on that half of the ground, rather than up and down, but crossways on that half of the ground. So it's almost the old corridor.
That's right. And
so there's
Keaton
Big Thomas
with a clearing kick again, and that one's gone Smosh's way. Out to Matty Gates, running into the 50.
Big Gareth White took a good take there, but Richter again pops it out here, and we got Josh Dawkins. He's just about caught. Backwards flick. Richter again. How many times have we called him in this game? Pops it on the ground. That makes it hard, and big collision there. Yep. That was good little work there by our number 3 as it comes out down the wing, and a free kick. So Alistair Fleming's up the ground a fair bit this quarter. We can see he's got the ball on the wing. He's had 2 or 3 possessions, but he's probably kicking it to where he needs to be. And that ball too long. Yeah. Yep. Out it comes. Matthew Gates. Bang. Into that hot spot. Over the back it should be. Here he is. Open goal to Scott. There he is. Gets another one. Certainly knows his way around the forward line.
He does, but they'll need a few more. They need to take more advantage of the wind, I think, to keep themselves in the game for that last quarter.
And I was just going to ask, do you think they've pretty much said, let's just bang it down there as Colonel Gardens did in the second quarter? You know, a bit of a set play, but get it down there and over the top it floats and capitalise. Bang, goal.
They have been kicking it long into that forward line. I think they just need to keep it a little bit more out this side.
And I think the SMOSH West Lakes forward line probably a little bit more better structured. You've got a tall and a small, whereas we saw Colonel Gardens, although they were scoring well, but they had 3 talls in a row there. So obviously the crummer there over the back, and Scott, no one was going to catch him, and through he went for a goal. So what are we looking at here? We're just waiting for the ball to come in. So a bit of push and shove, bit of argy-bargy there. 2 on 1. Matthew Gates trying to get the front spot there, and Kane Cornish trying to get the front spot. So they're into him. A little bit of gamesmanship. Up it goes. 50-50 tap. So on the ground, bang, head over the ball. That was good. Who was that player there for you guys?
I'll have to wait until he gets up. Who was it? It's Blake Elliott. Yep.
Yeah, good.
No surprises.
Good head over the ball there. He's pretty well known for that, is he? Head down, bum up.
Yeah, he is. Yep.
Yeah, good.
He's been given the job on number 4, I think. Yeah, there he is. You'll see him. He's going to be pretty tight on number 4, who killed us last time we played him and started off pretty well today as well.
So we see Sibic trying to link up there, but couldn't quite get the handball to Gates there. So Gates has gone back and got it himself. Very good. Into this hot spot again. Are we going to see it out the back? Not quite. Richter knows his way around, but ball hits the ground, and big strong tackle of it. William? About to throw it, umpire throwing it in. Little fall over there, so the big fella there hasn't quite got it. Lyndon Parham.
And another score coming in from Division 1. We've got Athelston on the live scoreboards.
And there's a snap and a goal. It is all clear as we speak. And I reckon that was there. Very clever goal.
And I think,
and that's that goal into the wind. Yeah, quick score.
That could be the story for the day. I think Colonel Light Gardens have managed to kick goals into the wind. Smosh hasn't done that yet, so that's a big deal. Kicking goals into that wind.
Two into that breeze, isn't it?
So that might get them up and about now. Colonel Light Gardens. They've been pushing and pushing and pushing, and they've got the score.
And in Division 2, we got St. Peter's Old Collegians 10 goal 10-70. On top of Old Iggy's at the moment, 4 goals 6-30.
So Colonel Light Gardens are going ahead again now. See if they can get turn away. But oh, big collision out there. That was a big collision, and that player's down and hurt himself. And I reckon that was the goal scorer. Was it Cornish or Brigoni?
It was,
might have been Brigoni, was it?
Steve Thomas from Colonel Light Gardens against Brad Moore, the skipper of SMOSH West Lakes.
And he's hurt. He's coming straight off. I reckon he's, if he had an appendix, he's just busted it, or the ribs or something. He's doesn't look good as he comes off. So who was that? Sorry, for Colonel Light Gardens.
Yeah, it was Steve Thomas, I reckon. He was the
Thomas,
one
was it?
That was involved in that pretty fair contest between himself and Brad.
Oh, it was a big collision. And there's a mark in the middle of the ground as the play goes on. So SMOSH West Lakes go forward now. One step, long kick into centre half forward position, over the back. Oh, he couldn't quite get it on the boot hard enough there. Through they come now, Colonel Light Gardens. This game's going at a frenetic pace all of a sudden.
It is. They're going to be tight at three-quarter time.
Mitchell Stevens, it is, kicks down onto the wing. One hand up it goes. And that's big Brock Richards again.
He's been good, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's looked down the ground. He's kicked it out to this half-forward flank again. Oh, and there's a push in the back, you'd have thought. Quick left foot snap for Colonel Light Gardens. As West Lakes man taken in the guts again is Greg Scott. Down forward, little push in the back, play on, it goes. And the big fella, 26, Aidan Parham, has kicked the goal. And I'll tell you what, reward for effort. That ball has been up and down the ground about 5 times there.
Yeah, you can see probably a dozen players with their hands on knees and just sucking in the big one. So
that was full ball, wasn't it?
It's been moving around, that's for sure.
So the Harley Heaven firm scoreboard, 7 goals 13 to SMOSH West Lakes, 7 goals 6 to Colonel Light Gardens. And I reckon we're going to see a ding-dong battle these last few minutes of this quarter and the last quarter. Battle of attrition, battle of fatigue, battle of fitness. What do you reckon? How are the SMOSH West Lakes guys with their fitness?
Yeah, well, I think their fitness is pretty good. But I agree with Luke. I think we probably need to be 3 or 4 up, maybe 4 or 5 up at three-quarter time, but we'll see how it goes. And what do you reckon? Win this game and they'll be into the bar with the past players, lose it, and they'll be taking about a 500-metre walk across the beach and into the ocean to wade. I tell you what, they wouldn't be popular losing Heritage Day. But.
So quick kick forward there, Phillips it was, kicks it and dribbles out of bounds. That's a pretty handy spot. Right in that forward pocket. We've got a game on here and the players are jogging down, trying to get into position.
24 minutes in makes it hard. Whoever gets 2 or 3 quick ones.
24 minutes in, and I think the first 2 quarters have gone on for about 32 minutes.
So ball comes into play and back out again, straight back from where it came from. So we're just waiting now. There's a bit of a lull in proceedings. The press is certainly on. Most of the players in one half of the ground, as you'd expect. Players still up and about, running around, waiting for this ball to come in. There's a lot of congestion there as the players moving. I like to see that on the throw-in. Up it goes, down it comes. SMOSH West Lakes capitalise on it. Handball back into where that throw-in was, and it's going to go out of bounds. So a third throw-in here within a minute, I would say. Can SMOSH West Lakes get another 1 or 2, as Luke Hosey called it in the last quarter with Colonel Light Gardens there. The wind going down that way, can they get a couple more here, SMOSH West Lakes? So up it goes, player trying to come through, couldn't quite take it. Quick handball out, fumble. SMOSH West Lakes are on it. I reckon they've got a sniff here. They're after it. Look at them hunting that ball. They just need a clearance.
Well, they're in a hot spot. That's better than being
right where it is. Greg Scott comes up with the ball. Ball goes up in the air. Third man up. Haven't seen that much today. Down to SMOSH West Lakes. And that was Nathan Brown with a quick kick forward. So the ball has been worked out and worked back, and we called this about 2 minutes ago, into that forward pocket again. Ball over the back of the mound, of course, so this is going to take a little while to get the ball back.
There's about 28 players in that forward 50.
There's a lot of them congregating, and you know what? Every player there thinks they're going to be the one that touches the ball.
What's the tactics in the last quarter if you've only got that one-goal lead, Stubber?
Well, I think the wind's too strong to worry about a player behind. I think they've just got to stay.
Here it is. Check side out of the pack. Up in the air. It's going to bounce through, and through for a point it goes. Continue on.
It's hard to know what to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just breathe.
I think if they go in, you know, with this margin, I think they're definitely going to have to kick goals into the wind, aren't they? That's the only way to do it.
They load two in behind it, so they're just going to get it and kick it straight back again.
So Richter there with a short little kick out, and the ball's bobbling around about 30 metres out of goal, and West Lakes are hungry for it. The big fella there, Keaton Thomas, gets a handball out, forward it comes. Thank you very much for filling in there, Lucas.
No worries.
Lukey,
thanks for having us. Thanks for coming down today, guys. It was good.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Lukey.
Yeah, thanks for filling us in on that as well. So,
thanks,
Lukey's off to enjoy the last quarter.
He's going back to the coach's bench, I think, mate.
Probably get a warm drink, and you can see that ball now on the half-back flank. I'll tell you, we've got game on here. Don't worry about the weather. Don't worry about the wind. It's a battle of attrition here, and players with their head over the ball. And I reckon we're going to see a ding-dong last quarter as ball comes in here, last few minutes, and down they go over the ball, sort of shepherding, protecting the area of the ball. Bought the ground, as you'd expect, Keaton Thomas. No players out there have taken a backward step, so I reckon...
No, I mean, everyone's showed a lot of courage going.
Yeah.
They're going in for the footy. Players on both sides are really gutsing it out in really horrific conditions.
And there it goes. So that player's been knocked around as well. Hunter Bennett, I reckon it's been Alistair Fleming, sorry. As the rain comes in a little bit again. Forward they come, SMOSH West Lakes popping it up in the air, and I'll tell you what, he's kicked
incredible.
That is Philip Williams, who's put it to the top of the square, and the wind is, unfortunately for Colonel Gardens, has blown the ball through for a goal.
That's just incredible.
So Philip Williams kicks that goal now.
Have a look at the palm trees on the far.
These players for their work. They're doing the hard work out there and keeping us entertained, and see if we can call as many as we can there as the ball dribbles out of bounds, just on the boundary line there.
Very, very dark, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's a throw-in.
It's a throw-in half-forward flank at the Pernix Martywood Data end of the ground, the northern end of the ground here at Bartley Terrace. And the big men do battle.
Yep, up
big
it goes.
paid.
He's handballed to fresh air there. And we see Hughes and Mitchell Stevens let that go, as he has done a fair bit today, Luke, as you've called. So another throw-in now. Look at the trees in the background there. At right angles just about. Up it goes, punch forward, Colonel Gardens, but they can't capitalise.
Yeah, well played.
And around it goes there. That was well played Scott, there, Greg Scott. Yeah. And a good mark. I've liked this bloke today. His hands have been really good here. Emmett Wood.
Come out the wrong side, though. He's high risk, high reward, and you'll go. Oh.
And now the two players I was calling before, Mitchell Stevens and Hughes, taking that, and another big tackle. There's some crunching tackles on there. Can't get it to him, Hughes. And that player, Mitchell Stevens, put a player down.
He's pinged him.
And the umpire's called that.
Yep.
So a free kick. Can they get another one here?
I think.
Nathan Brown.
Oh, there's behind the.
Yeah, she's on in the forward line as the ball goes right down the forward pocket. And who is that? 16 is. We haven't got his number. Oh, players are getting pushed around. She's on here. And number 19, of course, is Alistair Fleming. We haven't got a number 16, have we, for SMOSH West Lakes? I reckon that player's changed his jumper.
Yeah.
And there's about 30 players around the ball at the moment, just flexing their muscles. To handball here to Bennett, who's just behind him.
Just go down the lines, just get as far as out.
And he's gone to kick. He's gone to kick. Can you believe it? Ooh. And Bennett's still free out here. He's wanting it in the pocket. He's pointing, but the players, SMOSH West Lakes admire that. They've covered him well. So it's gone back across goals, and it's going to almost...
Just on 32 minutes, mate. So
quick handball. It's like Civic has got it. Around he goes on the left. On the left into the hot spot, and the big fella can't take it. It's up in the ground, up in the air, and through it goes. The crowd is going to erupt. And I reckon that's Philip Williams. There we have it. Up the den, and up the den it is.
So the Den, so we've got SMOSH West Lakes.
They have erupted.
Yeah, got a 20-point lead. Now, is that going to be enough? I don't think so, personally.
No, I think you're right.
7-goal breeze, isn't it? It's just howling.
And there's a little bit of argy-bargy. The big fella running back there, Chad Hamilton, was involved in a bit of play, and he's got a bit of a limp on. He's going to have to take the ruck work here, and the SMOSH West Lakes players are working out what they're going to do. So the ball comes back. Is there one more in it, Luke?
Well, they've gone 33 minutes and 4 seconds into this quarter.
And have a look at that win.
It's just...
Yeah, Philip Williams, up it goes. Have a look at it. Blowing a goal. Can they get the kick forward? It's dropped. It's up again. The big fella, Parham, can't take... just on the left foot there was Josh Dawkins dribbling it out. Quick hand, got shoulder over us. We're about 2 metres under it, and it's not helping. And it is torrential. Pouring down now. Down it comes anyway, and back it comes. And there's the siren that everyone's looking for.
34 minutes and 17 seconds that quarter went for, mate.
So the Harley Heaven firm scoreboard, 9 goals 14 to 7 goals 6. So
a 20-point lead.
Down it comes. So they kicked 6 goals 5 that quarter, and they kicked 1 goal straight. Yep. So just while things are, we're just going to have a little break and move down a bit as the rain is coming in sideways to the commentary position. So rain is pouring down. The crowd is still quite vocal. We're up and about in the commentary box. The players are up and about on the field, and the weather's up and about. Have a look at those palm trees out there. They are quite literally bending at right angles. Tell you what a day. What a day. So a good quarter there by SMOSH West Lakes, as they've kicked 6 goals 5, but I'm not sure whether that's going to be enough for them to hang on. And the wind and rain has come in. I know we keep saying it. The lights are on here at SMOSH West Lakes, the Past Players Day, and celebrations. They're all under cover here. We've got a fair bit of rain just coming across the commentary position. However, we will forge on.
Use those scissors. You got those scissors.
Last quarter, and also stoic in defence, because they're kicking into a very strong breeze that's really going to be hard to score against. But this is when it's all we've got to worry about in life. It's not too bad. And if you could visualise just at the moment, one of our great commentators is up trying to put a tarp up to keep us dry. We've got our cameraman here working ferociously to keep us updated with everything. There's a couple of here, and Richter now we see jogging back to position. The Colonel Light Gardens player all jogging out into position. The SMOSH West Lakes players are walking back. And we're getting set for a final last quarter here. That's going to have a bit of everything, I'd say. We did see a bit of physicality come into the game late in that last quarter, or sorry, late in that third quarter. However, holds the ball up. Maybe some mud and wet weather football. So a quick kick out there, and that was Nathan Brown getting that kick. And we have a throw in on the far wing, looking out across the ground. So up it goes. That's Colonel Light Gardens. Couldn't quite get the ball away there. Not a lot of players around the ball, but not much happening in the forward line for West Lakes either. So you'll see the players come up the ground on that far side. Grab, isn't it? That's a great grab by Rode. Now what's he going to do? He's going to wheel onto the right foot this time, kicks it down about 40 metres, ball on the ground, bobbling around.
Back Colonel Light Gardens in. This has brought it back level, I would have thought.
And now I reckon, you watch, they've been instructed to get that ball out of bounds, because that was a 200 punch. Did you find out who that number 16 was?
No, we're too busy trying to get up some tarps, mate.
Fair call. Well, we'll call him 16. So the ball comes in.
Someone's changed the number.
Yeah, Rhodes wins the tap, but it's down on the ground here. This is where the players head down, bum up. Quick chip kick here by Colonel.
Throw up. Big Parham. Hits the ball boundary side. There by the light tower. He's going to have a shot, almost an impossible shot from that side of the ground. A fantastic goal to Kernelight Gardens. Who is the big fella there? That is an amazing kick from that angle. Oh, that really could be that's a team lifter.
So the bitch again, and yeah, he took make it hard for Kernelight Gardens.
And it's coming down.
Crossways. Have a look. It's 90 degrees. Beautiful. I got the beat week, Luke, and that's about the best we can do for you, mate. And,
certainly do. It's
then again.
So gone. Just Guri's paid a free kick. Didn't see what for, but
yeah, I reckon Kernelight Gardens will want to bid here and try and get a few more.
Umpire's done a good job today in really atrocious conditions.
Yeah, and you know what? A good sign of it is if you don't.
No, like you wouldn't get worse conditions any time during the season. And Stannard Homes and St Michael's College. Well, thank you for putting the day on for the club. Ball just bouncing around out there, is it?
No, I reckon as to kick that forward, but it's come straight in. Number 5 there.
William Cramp.
Yeah, and he's got a bit of cramp, which is fully understandable on this cold day. That kick, and it's held up in front.
Scarif White, sorry. Yeah, it's Scarif White.
Yep.
Well, they've got to use the corridor.
Just forward of the centre, and that's a nice kick into that hot spot, right into the goal square. Players are up, ball to ground. Kernelight Gardens and West Lakes off the ground. Oh, the big fella's picked it up, and he's done really well there. Kicks it out, and it's going out of bounds right in front of the commentary position. And that
Lions, mate. They're all Lions.
So it's interesting. They're all Barragan for one, as it should be. And the umpire's called play on. Ball on the wing now. Kernelight Gardens first the ball. Bobbling around, and he's a big solid player, this player, and as you'd expect, gets hold of it. Crowd calls ball, but
that's Brock Richards. He's been pretty good today, the big fella.
Umpires don't want to know anything of it.
Gorey throws the ball up again. Ruckman do battle. There's the areas again. Bennett, he's been extra good. And a really good kick to a hot spot.
Yeah, he knows how to use the ball. This player falls over, loses his footing, and that's the wet weather for you. Right at centre half forward. Umpires let it go, and now we get the ball up. Geez, Luke, I'll tell you what. How would your fitness be? The umpire got it out towards the boundary.
Before the rain, but
and
yeah.
Around they go. Right foot, left foot there. And he's just put that right onto the goal line. And I reckon that was Alistair Fleming again.
I tell you what, a draw out of the question here.
You might have picked it early there. So 13 points the difference. SMOSH West Lakes, I reckon, are going to have to go that far side. So in it comes the captain there, Brad Moore it was. And if no one's touched that, have they touched it?
No.
They're trying to say they have, but they haven't. And can they capitalise here?
Get it into that hot spot.
Kernelight Gardens. But the ball is way out the back. We'll be here about 8 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, it's not the greatest setup, is it? The ball going out the back all the time.
So looking for the kick in here. He's pretty predictable. He's going to go to the hot spot. Players moving around. He's come sort of towards centre forward. Bennett's with a big punch and attacking that ball hard. Was blatant need. Someone needs to set the example this quarter, and SMOSH West Lakes, if they can do it as a team, follow the leader.
Someone to do something freakish, someone to do something really brilliant for either side, or SMOSH to kick a goal into the breeze, they'll win it.
We've seen the Kernelight Gardens already, one freakish goal this quarter. So 9-14, SMOSH West Lakes haven't moved. The Kernelight Gardens have kicked the one goal three-quarter time.
Mate. And well, I wouldn't have said it at three-quarter time before the rain.
You might be right there, because up it goes again. Just congestion after congestion there. They're playing for that. Oh no, the ball's come out. It's into the forward pocket here, Kernelight Gardens. But Philip Williams. It's just so difficult for them, Luke. He's just got to pop that up. And look at it. Out towards the boundary. Double-fisted punch. No, just touched over. So we see a player warming up, but yeah, good luck there, mate. Adam Brugioni and Tom Coverdale warming up, but that'd be tongue-in-cheek, wouldn't it? Because
they legs on the ground. Pull the ball at the moment. Ball's going nowhere, is it?
No, you're right. On that far wing, I tell you what, as I keep saying, SMOSH West Lakes have played for it though. That's what they want. On the ground again. Play on now. Big handball out. And I tell you what, I've loved this guy's game. Keaton Thomas again for the ball. Gets it going. Really good. SMOSH West Lakes. I tell you what, that was fantastic. Get a quick kick forward, which they do through Richter. Get this ball over the top, and we're going to see these 4 players come into play. So down to a 1-on-1. Good fist out there.
This final quarter, and there's only been the 1 goal scored.
Yeah, so it's not going to be as long, if that makes sense, through the goals.
To kick another 2 goals, 1 to draw. So yeah, 2-2 to get in front. Can't see him doing it at this rate.
9 goals 14 to 8 goals 7. Big punch forward.
I said 8 goals would win at the start of the game. I might be only 1 goal out, mate. 9 might win it.
Yep. So 23 scoring shots to 15. So really they deserve to win SMOSH West Lakes.
Their inaccuracy in that first quarter really hurt them.
Out of bounds on the fulls happened for both teams.
Just stoppages.
Big Rhodes.
Going to get another stoppage.
Big Rhodes has tried to punch that forward. And yes, the club room's here.
300 or 400.
And they've got the music. The jukebox has been switched on. And I tell you what, there's a party within a party here. They're having a great time over here. I don't think they're too poor thing, struggling with that man. Well, we all know what a man flu and a man cold's like. So yeah, we played in worse than this.
And the kicks are a little bit longer, like about 50 metres longer. That goal they scored back in 1985.
Half it forward and half it just up and down. And I reckon that player contested his own ball there. That was Lockie Young. Went in and has around it. So in it comes. The wind takes the ball. Tell you what.
Goal scored. They played really smart.
Keaton Thomas down the line, and Colonel Light Gardens taking a mark on the wing. I reckon that's our fullback. He's had a pretty good game as well, Emmett Wood. So he's tried to get it a little bit inboard. Rhodes gets up with one hand, taps it. Day it is, around on one foot. Richter, round on the other. And Sibic has been caught there. You don't see that very often, but he did run back into play. I was going to say if SMOSH West Lakes get up, they'll bring the roof down, but they'll have to hurry because I reckon Storm might bring the roof down before the crowd does.
They might be using Lakeside Roofing, their major sponsor. Hurry.
So over the top, old Eberts. So our scoreboard hasn't changed.
I've got to go out tonight, but I think I'll be spending a fair bit of time in that hot shower.
And that wasn't well disguised, but they've let it go. So ball comes into play now. If they can get it full start of this quarter, what they were going to do, where they want the ball to be, and to be honest, they've done it.
To be honest, the umpires have let them do it. If they pick one up, they wouldn't have kept doing it. But
it hasn't been blatant, but, you know, the wind, the rain and everything's going out that way, and if you can scramble the ball out that way, that's it.
Yeah, that's right.
They're certainly not intent on kicking goal, I can tell you that, from here.
Heading straight eastward, aren't they?
And
in an easterly direction towards the boundary line.
They're kicking goals metaphorically by getting that ball out of bounds over there, and guess what? There it is again. The boundary umpire's probably got a running little kick by them if they can get the...
this is where it becomes nearly impossible for
you almost see...
He is only moments away. They just keep playing this... this determined defensive football.
So up it comes. Look at it. Look at how many's around the ball. Just carry it towards the boundary line. Quick flick out. No one's going to get that ball out there. Bennett's with a quick kick, and he's put it through for a point.
Still
one hand in the air.
So we go to 9 goals 14 on the firm Harley Heaven scoreboard to Colonel Light Gardens 8. And we are 27 minutes in, so you'd think it hard to
23
to see a Colonel Light Gardens victory from here.
23-16. It's on the far side. It's a Colonel Light Gardens grab, but he's just about on the wing. So it's going to be 4 or 5, well, maybe 3 kicks back far side. You'd almost swear that was a shot at goal. Down the flank again it goes, out of bounds on the full, a throw in. So clearing skies back behind us.
30 minutes in now, mate. She's over.
I reckon they've got it. Yeah. And up it goes. And straight back towards him it goes. Congestion there. They've done well here, SMOSH West Lakes.
Really smart. They've just headed.
Can't believe there's a supporter over there. There's a supporter standing out on that side of the ground. Cannot believe it. Center of the ground. Down. Now that's a screwy. He's deliberately, and that's a great, that is just a fantastic grab. Keaton Thomas again. He has played a fantastic game.
You know where he's going to head, straight to that far side.
Straight back. Doesn't get onto it, but not surprisingly. First two at SMOSH West Lakes again. That was Brad Moore again, who's had a really good game. They come out with it, and it's gone right over towards the boundary line, playing towards touch. Player free now. They've got him free. Dribbles it along the ground. Down it goes. Oh, look at that. Sells some candy. Down along the ground. Up it goes. Can they get another one here, SMOSH West Lakes? Along the ground it goes. They've scrambled that 30, 40 metres. Oh, back it comes. Colonel Gardens. Look at them open up now. Into the middle of the ground where Luke Hosey's been calling for him to put it. Skids forward 20 metres. There it is now. Around, does a dusty. Gets slung to the ground. They're at about half forward flank here. SMOSH West Lakes can't quite get the ball free.
31
Crowd calls ball.
31 and a half minutes in.
And look where the balls end up. Across the ground. That zigzag bit of play. And I'll tell you what, Colonel, and that was big players here in front of us sort of having a bit of a go at each other. Bennett and Matthew Gates. And up it goes. Rhodes again with the tap forward for Harley Heaven. Firm scoreboard. Up it goes. Rhodes again on the left hand. Colonel, oh, couldn't quite get it there. West Lakes, sort of, and he goes back and kicks it, and that's Smith.
Is that a goal?
Bryce Smith it was. Kicked the goal. There was a rush kick that came in.
76 points.
Bryce Smith kicked it. This might be the draw that you called.
33 and a half minutes.
There hasn't been a lot of goals.
So it's 9-14 on the firm Harley Heaven scoreboard. 9-14 to SMOSH West Lakes. 9-8 Colonel Gardens. Only 6 points of difference.
And I reckon that was a lucky kick to get it to him. But so the big fella now,
against him,
Lyndon Parham's pushing back down into the back line now. SMOSH West Lakes, 6 points in it.
34 minutes gone nearly.
They've pushed Parham back. So this is going to be interesting. It could come down to this bounce. Who gets the clearance? Quick kick and a mark, and they might be in. So umpire just telling the water boys.
Got 2 or 3 back in behind the footy, to be honest.
He's getting the boundary umpire set up now. I don't know why he's sending that boundary umpire that side, because I can guarantee you the ball's not probably going to go down in that direction, but no, they have to set up. So up it goes in the middle. This will be interesting. SMOSH West Lakes win the tap. It's going across towards the wing. Richter down to it. Couldn't quite take it. SMOSH West Lakes, and I reckon that's Blake Elliott holding it up. The ball's bobbling around. It's still in play. Time is ticking. Wing.
They kicked the goal early.
Possession there, 30 metres towards their end. Player can't get down to it, so Colonel Gardens going to drop the ball. And here it comes. SMOSH West Lakes, ball is bounced the distance to the wing. Can you believe that? Off the back. No one's touched it. It's taken now. Colonel Gardens. Now they come from the true centre half-back position to out of bounds on the half-back flank on the far side. That's 2 kicks back. Have a look at it. That time clock.
30. That's a minute and a half out. So we're 36 minutes into this final quarter.
Chad Hamilton, no, handball's off. And have a look at the players on the ground. Sibic is still down after that chase, but I just think that's wear and tear. And they're not a bad team in the conditions, but as we said at the start, both teams had to play in it.
Yep.
Both teams had to play in it. And, yeah, players just look like they haven't trained off too well. They've been in a good paddock there. But good on them. They're out there and they're enjoying themselves. So good luck to them.
Yeah.
And looking at the conditions, good luck to them. So the Henley Sharks coach has just asked them whether we're calling the next game. And I don't think that's going to be on.